Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. uh, this is important, this video, so I titled it, The Reason You Are Here on the Surface and the Reason Why You Are Watching This Video. Well, first thing, let's look at the reason why you're watching this video. The reason why you're watching this video is because you do have interest in what I say. You do have interest in what's happening. You do know that there is something more. And also, some of you are part of this group. Some of you may be viewing this just now. But nevertheless, you will know and you'll come to find that anything you're attracted to, that it is for a reason, and it does have a very important purpose. So, you follow your heart with what you are attracted to read, what you're attracted to watch. And during this ascension, as all of you know, it's very important. There's a lot of information out there, and what may resonate with one may not with another, but they're all absolutely perfect and they're all absolutely correct, and they pertain to your individual journey and where you need to be at that time. So that, again, I cannot stress that, emphasize that enough, that there needs to be no judgment upon another just because what you believe at one time, their beliefs are totally different. No, pass no judgment. We are in times of unity where we come all together for the one cause, and this is happening. So you don't wish to judge another light worker or another one of light or even another soul that is not even awakened. So, don't judge them. Always assist them in whatever way you can and give them the benefit. You may say that I just judge someone by saying they're not awakened. Again, very quickly, it's not me judging that they're not awakened. The facts, show it, and it's obvious. So I'm just stating the facts with that, and we're not judging anyone, and degrading anyone in that manner. What we do say is, they're not awakened, but they are awakening. So you keep it positive and assist where you can. And there is not really a judgment in that. Everyone judges themselves by their actions, and you assist where you can. So you're watching this video because it's pertinent to you and to all. And, in this great time of gathering and unity, where we must all come together and reconcile any perspectives and differences when that time is right. And that time is now, and we're doing it. So, I've just put a post out, perhaps a couple days ago, saying you are here on the surface to dismantle the old, to bring down the governments and, anything that is not built on merit and truth, and anything that does not support the people. And, and as we know where we're at, none of this does, that they keep governments and things just keep prolonging and suppressing society from advancing and enslaving everyone. That is a fact, and we know this, and more are knowing this, and they are awakening from this every day. Knowing how these things are actually savage, but nevertheless, part of that, we are angels. And, some of you and more of you are coming forward, and that we're targets, and realize that you cannot be killed, and we cannot be killed, and we cannot be taken off of this plane. We are angels that's integrating our divine essences into these physical bodies, and we're here to serve a purpose. We're here to do a job that is built on all things good, and we're building something on all things good. You know, there is resistance, you know, you run into that all the time, but you also have the prowess within you, within each one of you, to overcome all of any resistance. You are endowed and bestowed with the most incredible, unprecedented prowess upon the surface here ever. And you need to stand in what you are. You're able to stand alone as a huge beacon of light. And, you know, although you'll form groups and gatherings, uh, you know, and become a part of something, you never really follow anyone. It's all about learning how to empower yourself as well to stand alone, because you are a huge, powerful force. And having said that, you know, each one is powered to the level that they should be at this time. But getting back, because this is important to, you know, the reason why you are here on the surface. Uh, there is a huge group of us, and it's growing bigger, you know, every day, a group of the angels around the world. The overall, within the overall big group, there are subgroups, like, you know, the ones that follow here, you are a subgroup. But having said that, within, you know, these subgroups are all connecting. But having said that, when I put out something that you are here to dismantle the governments, that is the overall part of the Ascension plan. But that does not mean that you individually are part of going in and destroying the governments. That is not what I am saying. What I am saying is that there are many that do this, but there's also the important ones like you that are just here to keep space with the love, to keep energies balanced. But altogether, we are doing what you are divinely guided to do. You're exactly where you should be. Some of you may be into the depths of exposing things in society and government and bringing them to the surface, while some others of you maybe just have a quiet place out in the country observing what's going on, but it's just holding space, holding love. You're doing exactly what you should do. So, and when I put out posts or videos, you know, again, it's always so important to go with what resonates with you. I speak to many levels and many different people, and there is an individuality and there is a difference between you for your missions and purpose. But it is great for, as the whole, for everyone to be informed of every aspect of what is happening, whether you're a part of a direct influence on that or not. You need to be informed of what is happening. And again, uh, I cannot emphasize that enough. So, you know, I look at it sometimes and I see some where they get triggered. I'm out of here, you know, I'm not watching this. But that is something that it perfectly happens for them to, you know, look at as well and reflect upon, seeing that, you know, there is something that they need to look at and understand further. So it's part of their process. And, you know, for anyone that may say, I'm out of here, I leave, you know, watching what I put out or what I type, that's not to say within a blink of an eye they're back and in there stronger than ever after, you know, they deal with the little things. And all of you can understand this, you know, to the fullest, because all of you, including I, we had to go through the processes of understanding to get where we are right at this now. And I can assure you and guarantee you that in this now, as many of you can attest to and give testimony, that this is the most powerful, most magical times we are in. And what I strongly suggest, each one of you keep on doing what you're doing. We're creating the new, and there is no foundation whatsoever for anyone to even suggest that this is cultist. And I mean, very quickly with that, I was just thinking about that this morning. You know, sure, you know, this can be labeled a cult, you know, or can be labeled a cult, the whole Ascension theme. But when you look at the values, what this Ascension cult has, and you look at the values, what the society cult has, that's calling this one a cult, you quickly find that which one are you going to choose? The one that is based on love, everything good, equality, you know, and equality temporarily now in wealth, in gender, all of these things, and you know, protecting our children and keeping them in a beautiful place, and taking away the enslavement, you know, and the reliance upon money, and like where everything good, what everyone wants and dreams of. So if you see anyone resisting that in any manner, you know, they do have issues with themselves that they need to reconcile in some way, or they do have an agenda and an intent to, you know, try to dissuade and discourage others from going towards their truth. And this is what we are. We are truth from the heart. It's everything good. It's that simple. What human soul upon the planet would not want that? What human soul would not want to be on the planet and only maybe work 2 or 3 days a week, you know, have their children and their families all together, not two parents have to go out to work and send their children to daycare and schools? Like, you know, how ridiculous is that separation? Anyone looks in their heart, it's not what they want, and it's not what we should have to have here. So I could go on and on about this, and I don't need to. But again, the reason why I am bringing it up is to, for all of you, just to reflect on that. If you have moments of doubt what you are and what this is, just reflect upon those things. What do you wish? You know, perhaps you wish to remain in society. Perhaps that is your journey. Perhaps that is your purpose here, to stay within society. But also you must understand and respect that there are many of us here that know it's not right. It does not resonate with us the way society is. And what we want is all the pure, good, and right things, not only for us in this now, but for the generations to come. I mean, ridiculously, you just look at what you do with your child. And I'm now speaking to ones that's deep in the matrix and the society. Look what you do to your child when they're at 3 or 4 years old. Well, no, let's go back. When, let's say, they're at about 3 years old, you're working, you put them in daycare, then you take your child out of daycare, you put them in a preschool, then you put them in kindergarten, then you put them in the public school system for 12 years, let's say, and then you put them in college for 3 or 4 years. They've accumulated a huge debt, which is actually ridiculous and illusionary. So what you did is, with your children, you've just enslaved them to a lifetime of enslavement. So then they get out of school, out of university, whatever, then they enter the workforce 9 to 5 and enslaved in that, with that mentality. Where is their life? Like, what did you just do to your children when you did that? Like, it's absolutely ridiculous when you know now that you have a choice, there are other options. And your options are, and your choices are, to change things. And it's all part of what we are here to do, and the awakened ones, and also more are awakening very rapidly every day, and we continue on with that. That is our mission, to get deeper into, to look quickly at the ones that are here to dismantle the government and reveal and expose all of the truths to the people, how it is all corrupt. And I am one of them. There have been many of us that have been attacked and targeted. You know, we are good people. We live from our heart. We are love, and there's no reason for us to be attacked. But there was a reason, and it's because we are and were a threat to the old ways of corruption, of keeping people enslaved. So anything that threatens that, you know, what were the powers to be, you know, the elitists and the control systems of governments and everything, they become very afraid when they see us. And out of their fear, what they were doing was targeting us. And, you know, they tried to kill many of us, and they can't. And, you know, James Connors, a friend of mine on here, he's one of them, but there's also more. Leslie, I need to speak with her in the future. But, you know, that's only to name a couple. I come in contact with many that know they were targets. And it happens as soon as you began to speak the truth about the societies, about the governments, you know, about the injustices, about the immoral, unethical things that are served upon the public. And that's when, you know, we became targets. And for me, you know, I was a prime target. They tried to, I don't know, several times, you know, tried to kill me, and and they couldn't, and they can't. And you know, there come a time during that I was awakening, and you know, you could say that I was brazen to the respect that I said, "Ha ha, you can't kill me," but it was more important to let them know that I knew that they couldn't, and that I am much more than what they ever expected. And, you know, they have to listen up and submit. And I was a target for a period, but I kept telling them, no, I cannot be intimidated, and you cannot kill me. You continue your foolish things if you wish, but I told you so. After a while, they gave up, and they had to accept that. And, you know, overall, they have lost because there are more here like I. There are more on the surface, and there are many more are coming. They're coming in the sense that they're already here, and that they're waking up to higher degrees and empowering their divine prowess. So, and not only that, we do, and many of you know, for the ones that do know, and the ones that don't, we do have a connection to ships, and you are seeing that, and everything is assured. And if we need to, we bring everything in here. The light has won. The light has won. This darkness in society is collapsing, and it began that way in 2012. And anything that is not built of truth and merit is collapsing, and it will collapse. And it's no way that we are going into the future with governments and these sort of things intact, because they are not built on merit. They are not foundationed on truth and the good intent for all. These governments and these sort of things are instruments of suppression of the darkness. Now, I'm not here to sway your way of thought, but I do suggest, you know, that any that may question what I just said, just go somewhere and think about it on your own for a while. And also open your own divinity up to the higher power that you get, and see and watch how your thoughts change, because you are connecting and receiving your own information that it is so. Many of us see it, we know it, and we know why we're here. We know what our purpose and our mission is. And it's time for many more of you to understand that as well, that yeah, there's divine intervention upon the surface here, and it's very true and it's very real, and you are part of it. Any of you watching this right now, whether you agree with what I say or not, you are part of it, and you are going to fit more in with where you are supposed to be, and that's assisting. We're, you know, with this, you all complement a whole. You all have your individuality, but you are also a part of something much bigger. And you've been positioned all around Gaia for this time to be prepared. Everything in your life prepared you for this time. It is in full fruition right now. It is here. We are amidst of it. And we're coming out big time to change everything and to secure the futures for the children and for all of you and for humanity as a whole, but to secure them in a way of peace and love and you know, freedom and all of these things, which you are, as a being upon this planet, you are duly owed that. And actually, you know, every one of you that was on here, that was stripped from you. So you're taking back your divine sovereignty, your divine rights as a being here. So I'm not going to ramble on. We may have a documentary for you later tonight. I need to meet with another fellow divine being, and I'll let you go. But I wish to, you know, touch on that, the importance of it. And in closing, as most of you know, but I will reiterate and repeat, that the audience that I assist, that I put out, you know, information for, it's from everyone that is not awakened to the highest of you on the surface. So having said that, each one of you only take what resonates with you at that time. I cover the whole spectrum. So very often there may be something that doesn't resonate with you because it's not for you or your level. And part of what I do is I get right down deep and low, you know, into the 4D, and where some of them are just beginning to awaken. And I do that because I am an overseer of the Ascension. And that means, you know, the overall ascension, the whole thing as a whole. And it's why I'm here. And it is my mission as well to assure and ascertain that no one is left behind that is going, you know, into these new timelines, which is, you know, relatively most of the populace, perhaps 2/3 or greater, you know, of the populace of the planet. So, and this is, you know, this is what we do. It's what I do, and what I continue to do, and I will. So all is good, and it's all a learning experience to get to where you're at. But, you know, after a while, after you learn so much on your own, you come to the point that you're well equipped with the knowledge to begin the change. And this is where we're at now. We're in that time. You have all the required knowledge. Your gifts are coming online. You know what you have. You know your abilities. Now we're utilizing them and very rapidly and swiftly changing these nows. And it is happening. And you are in the most amazing times that you ever could conceive or perceive from a human perspective. You've been awakened to what you are, many of you, what your purpose is here. And you need not to run around digging through the cupboards or whatever, looking for your purpose. You just remain open and your purpose comes to you. You remain open what you're supposed to do. It comes to you. No one, including me, can really tell you what to do. You need to receive that, what your mission and purpose is, on your own. But it's not to say that what I say resonates, because when that resonates and feels good in your heart, then you know that that is pertinent to your mission and your purpose. You use your discernment feature, your heart in your whole vessel, what feels right, your whole human body. If something feels right, you go with it. Don't question it. Don't doubt it. Those are aspects of fear you were taught to let go of. And you go with the flow. You have no preconceived notion of what the future will contain and have no expectation. You are manifesting, so you don't want to interject perhaps some negative things into your future. Relax, go with the flow, what feels right, what you're given, and what is presented before you. That makes it most simple. Then you're not running around all over the place, getting lost, taking sidetracks. You know, you're right on line with what's happening. And things flow much better. Don't resist any blocks. Do not stand up to blocks that you're not supposed to, any resistances. Sometimes some of you are to stand up to huge resistances, but you will know in your heart that you must. You will receive your information from your connection with God that you must stand up to something that is not correct. You follow that. And that's what this is about. It's not about following me when I put things out. It's about empowering you and get you to trust yourself and know your place in this. We are comrades. There may appear to be a sort of leader, but in reality, you are all leaders here, all of you. It doesn't matter what we are in the hierarchy or the hierarchy of divinity. We are all here to do the same thing. We are all divine comrades. And this is what we're doing. And I love each and every one of you. And as we all do, we all love each other. And we keep that strength and we keep going forward. Nothing stops us. This is imminent. The ascension is ascertained. So you go with what you feel, of course. So again, I love you all. Kiss. Couple winks. Yeah, we need that because you know there's more going on. So I love you. And of course, peace, you know. And also, that's one of our galactic symbols. So, you know, you see your ships up there. Hey, give them the sign as well. So have an amazing day. I love you. Catch you later. Bye. Now, come on, guys. Let me go here. I got a meeting. Okay, there we go.